Hello, everyone. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll be conducting the whole process in English, and as you can see now, I'm speaking English very fast. So if you cannot understand my English, or if you think my English accent is really weird, you just stop me. Raise your hand, stop me. I can do it in Chinese, even better convenient for me. So my name is Kevin Junkai Yang, and I'm now a senior in the Department of International Business at Chong University. And I'm actually not a person of Model APAC. Model APAC now is United Nations is. Can anyone tell me? Yes? Yeah? Yeah, that's basically the definition of the Model UN. Model UN is we stimulate real UN conference, so we discuss international issues, and you represent different countries. But a little bit kind of like the Model APAC the process. Yeah, you represent different countries, different economic systems. So I guess that's why I'm here. So I'm going to share my experience and how my experience, and we'll have some activities afterwards. I've been told that you guys have the class all day from morning until now, so we're not going to do some boring lectures at all. Well, okay, he's going. Okay, so now begin. This is going to be my agenda today, and first of all, I'm going to do some experience sharing, and then we're going to have. Originally, we have two activities, which is impromptu and debate. But I have been told that the debate process, the topic I have prepared, may be a little bit boring. Yeah, it's really boring, not just a little bit boring. I can show the topic later. It's really boring. So we're just gonna do impromptu, which is really interesting. And then if we still have some time, we're gonna end sharply at 4, I guess. So if we still have some time, we'll just open up the Q&A sessions. It's fine. Okay. First of all, it'll be experience sharing. And this picture is me. When I went abroad to attend my first. Well, there's only 2. Okay, my first MUN conferences that is abroad. It's World Month Singapore in 2011, and I put it in this experience. That's literally my first experience. I really went abroad and to attend an international conference. And World is very interesting. It's in that year, well, because in last year, does anybody know where World 2010 was? Taipei. Yeah, it's in Taipei, and it's really great. It's really great. So World Singapore 2011, it booms about 300 more people. And everybody there is saying, "Oh, you're from Taiwan. Taiwan is great. I went last year. It's great. Singapore sucks." Yeah, we don't have, and then we have 2 other. One in last year is in Vancouver. This year is in Melbourne. And the delegates know it's not me and my freshmen and sophomore students went to their conference, and we still receive. Taiwan, you're from Taiwan. Taiwan's great. Vancouver sucks. All right, so we're good at holding conference or parties, I guess. Yeah, you guys should be proud of that. Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of something interesting. And so World Singapore 2011, and that's my first really experience to go outside to having that conference contains of 2,600 delegates from 160 different countries. So I stay in a rather small committee, so I didn't really encounter a very large amount of people from different parts of the world, but it's still a very interesting event. If we still have time, I can tell you some interesting stories concerning the conference. All right, so you will be attending a Model APAC event, I guess, in July, right? Which I'm not. I will be not in Taiwan in July, so I don't have the chance to attend Model APAC. It's kind of a pity. So what are we doing here? Well, first of all, you're gonna read, speak, write English excessively like never before in your life. Well, maybe that's not for some foreign delegates. I can tell that there are 2 or 3 of you. But for, I guess most of you here, this is the first time you have to do something really serious in English. That in the past, the only occasion you have to do something really serious in English is your English test, right? But your English test definitely have nothing to do with Vietnam, Indonesia, WTO, 最惠国待遇, blah blah blah. Yeah, definitely it's not UNF. So this is going to be your first experience that you have to use in the official term of that. If we call it, it's called use English as a working language. You should work in English. Now, secondly, you're going to discuss international issues that have nearly nothing to do with you. That's the most common. I guess it's Model UN, Model APEC. We all share the same problems. That you're working really hard on something that has nothing to do with you. That's correct, right? You all agree with that? So isn't it kind of insane? Softball in the morning is my other common interest, and Mom told me that yeah, you go play softball and you have games, right? That matters. Model UN, you're doing nothing. This has nothing to do with your life and has nothing to do with your academic performances. So what the hell are you doing? Yeah, I think of it. Yeah, I cannot find a exact answer to answer her that why I'm doing this. And thirdly, you'll come up with some solution reports on problems that adults find it difficult to face. Did you all agree with that? And in either in Model APEC or Model UN, there is something that you are facing. It comes for you. It says, okay, where this is something that you need to solve it. It's because adults cannot find solutions. If those adults, those real diplomats in the APEC or in the United Nations, they can find some solutions, you have nothing to do with it. You don't bother even read about those things. Like, war of Syria, right? It has been going about for 2 years. Yeah, it's now May, right? So it's in when it started spring 2011. So it has been going 2 years. Have it been solved? No. So I have seen the topic of situation in Syria and for Security Council for the past 2 years Model UN conference. That's pretty scary. Yeah, so it's one conflict that it cannot be solved. So that's why Model UN would tackle it. Or Model APEC would tackle it. So these are the 3 things you're going to do in July. May I ask, I don't even mind. What the hell are you doing? So this is kind of an it's kind of, you may think of these questions very consequently, like why you're doing this. Maybe you're interested in it, but these are 3 cruel facts that you perceive in your mind. So what can you do about it? Basically, in the first thing you know, there's something I've never done before, and you may be really strange about how can I do it well, or how am I going to compete? All those delegates have speak really good English, very aggressive, don't seem to want to cooperate with others. Yeah, I've encountered delegates like that all the time in every event. So what can you do about it? Well, my first suggestion will be relax. It's not really that big deal, because remember that you're playing diplomat, but you're also students, and fortunately, other diplomats are also students. So you guys are students. It's not really that big deal that if you make some mistake, you say something wrong, it's not going to call a national war, That it's not that you say something bad to the delegates of the Philippines and we're going to have a war, right? It's not your job. Maybe someone say something bad or wrong to someone from Philippines, we're going to have a war in the Philippines. But it's definitely not you, so it's not a big deal. So just try your best and think of something that on that time, at that very moment, what you can say, what you can do, or you meet other delegates you think you cooperate with, and just go and make up something that you guys think is perfect or is best for the solutions. It's not really a big deal, so don't take it that seriously. And second is it's very important in the spirit in Model UN, so I'm just putting it here. It's kind of the same. So it's wearing other people's shoes. That is, I didn't answer you this as the answer to my mom, but I asked this answer to many other parents. as why are students doing this? And I say it's the best way to wear in other people's shoes. That you have to conceive and perceive something that it's not from your perspective. Like the perfect example would be that, okay, ladies and gentlemen, what if today you are Philippine? What would you think on our current affairs, on our disputes in Taiwan, Philippines? And what if you're the government of Philippines? What would you think? Have you ever think about that? It's not something our media would tell you. It's not something our reporter would tell you. It's definitely something not those relatives of Hong Shichang would tell you to think. What if you're Philippines? What are we going to do? And how are we going to respond when you face these 72 hours death blackmail things that Taiwan government issued to you? It's interesting standpoint. So thinking of that would let you know that what we're doing these model stuff, because we have to wear in other people's shoes, and that will help you in the future, whether you're in a company or you have different jobs. You think what your boss think. You think what your colleague thinks. You think what your client think. And that's definitely going to do good to your job performances, also in other aspects in your life. And third will be that act before you think, be brave to speak up. And this is really interesting that everybody tells you that think before you act, right? That's the kind of like the common motto in, I don't know, maybe in Taiwan, China. Well, in a Model APAC or Model UN conference, you have to act before you think. Like when the chair says, okay, is there anyone willing to speak? Don't hesitate, just raise your placard. Okay, when it's your turn, then you have to think about what you think. And think about what you're gonna say. All right, just don't say, okay, I haven't prepared yet. I have only maybe speeches for 10 seconds. I shouldn't say I'm gonna speak. No, just raise your placards and your country's or economic system name will on the screen. And then when it's your turn to speak, then it's your time to think about what you're gonna speak. Okay, that is the point. Act before you think, be prepared to speak up. Because if you don't speak up, your voice will just be ignored by the body, because nobody will know what you're thinking about. And those countries may be potential bloc allies with you, do not want to cooperate with you. Okay, then the fourth part, if you cannot be a leader, be the bridge between the blocks. That I'm not sure if it is going to work in the Model APEC process, because the person we contact with me say that maybe you're not going to go through the huge discussion process. But just in case, do you guys know what a block is? The block is that you have a small group of people, and this group, this group, this group. If you cannot be the leader of in one block, that happens that it matters a lot to do with your country. That in APEC, if you are United States, and some country will listen to you, and even China and other groups of countries listen to you. And if you cannot be the leader, be the bridge between the blocks. That's very interesting because for Taiwanese students, it's hard for us to be a block leader in the World Month or there's a National Month in New York this March. Yeah, it's very interesting because the last day we get to go to the Rio United Nations General Assembly Hall and we can vote on DR. It's interesting. And it's hard for us to be blocked. First of all, we're short. Secondly, we're Asians, so not really many people would like to really listen to us and let us be the block leader. Especially among because 50% of the Americans, it's even difficult. But all the delegates that get the best delegate awards in those major world-scale Model UN conference, they are all the bridge between the blocks. And so they got best delegates. So if you think, these two blocks, they're working something like really similar, is tell them to, hey, where you guys go cooperate. and they'll appreciate you because when it's in chaos, you don't know about what other groups of people are doing. So it's really, they're going to appreciate you, and they were going to vote you for best delegates. And the chair will know that it's you who merged these two documents. And if you think the two blocks are having some conflict concept of things, that's also that is what you can do is say, okay, I think there's not really so conflict ideas in the two papers. You guys can talk about it. And the 5 was never underestimate your ability. It's because I don't know if the Module APEC is running a list, but for the Module conference, it basically needs your every skill in English and in presentation. You need to listen, you need to read, you need to speak, and of course you have to write. You have to write a report. So there must be something that you're better than the others. There's definitely be something, trust me. And yeah, maybe for Asian people, maybe your reading and writing skills could be possibly better than there are better possibility than your speaking and listening skills than for maybe people from not an Asian region. Yeah, but so when I went to New York, my partner, that he's only a political freshman in political science. However, he happened to merge 3 or 4 working papers into one draft resolution, and all the work are done by him. And in the last conference, he told me, hey, his name is also Kevin. This is really interesting. And we look the same, so the 2 same Kevin representing Austria. That's interesting. And he told me that I never thought that I could have done so well in this conference that we have about 160 delegates and 50% are Americans. I say, yeah, you see, because those people, maybe they're not really good at writing documents, writing clauses on the resolution. Yeah, so never understate your ability. There must be something you can do better than the others. And last but not least, enjoying experiences that have also fun. It's really, really important for you to know. Because you have to enjoy the whole thing, then you can really devote yourself in it and have fun, lots of fun with it. Okay, and I'll just go back for a second. Since I'm not going to do the debate part, there's some, the person who contacted me may say that I need, maybe it's better for me to share some websites that it's better for you to collect the information that you're going to, and for the country you're going to represent. And yeah, it's maybe there's country you have heard of it, and because we're in Model APEC, not like Model UN. In Model UN, you're the country you have never heard of it. Like, have you guys know where Mauritania is? Yeah, maybe some of the Mauritania is in countries in Africa, but you know where Mauritius is. Mauritius is a country in the Pacific region. Yeah, so but Model APEC is a problem. Maybe most countries you haven't heard of it. But there's also there are some websites that you can use to collect information. First of all, I guess this one is something that you guys have never heard of it. You can just write down about it. It's in Central Intelligence Agency. If you don't know what it is, the CIA. The CIA is basically the spy agency, and yeah, that's how they call them in Argo. You know the movie in Argo. In Argo, there's a movie. We're a spy agency. Go get the goddamn ticket. Yeah, so there are spy agencies in the United States. So what do spies in the United States do? They collect information from every country in the world. Yeah, that's a good way to play the role of world police. Like, for example, Singapore. These are flags, and they'll be basically everything about Singapore. Introduction, geography, and any stuff that you can think of. People in society, their ethnic group, their religions, belief, proportion, and even have literacy. Literacy is yes, such stuff that you can find. The government type, the economy, maybe you're best be interested in every data of the Singapore. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go through all of it, but this just to tell you that this is really a useful information. It's basically like an encyclopedia of all countries and nations around the world. That I'll always find really useful when I'm representing a country I have never maybe that familiar with. And there's also like there's some country you have heard of it, but maybe you not really know it. Like at this time I'm representing Austria. You guys all know where Austria is. And you learn different texts, but also yes, country near Germany. But you maybe not know best about it. What's its economic conditions, their population and government reform, etc. So the foreign policies, which is very important in Model UN. But for Model APEC, maybe their foreign economic policy. Yeah, so this is just for you to know. And then in BBC, this is another. Just go to this. You go type BBC World, and these are all the regions. These are all the regions around the world, and you guys maybe will be interested in Asian region. And these are all the news that you can find from BBC. And a better way what BBC would not see is that BBC, because it's a very old traditional media and it's in the United Kingdom, and they'll have some different aspects on where you conceive of things. So you go to CNN, you know there's always American perspective. Yeah, but I'm not saying that American perspective is bad, but CNN basically contains all the Americans' perspective. But for BBC, is that you're going to contain other different, not just the United Kingdom perspective. Yeah, so it's better to understand what is happening. This is better for you to understand an issue. You can just search the issues, economic issues here, and you pop up with all the news articles they have drafted for the past few years, I guess, for 1 or 2 years. And last but not least, there's Wikipedia. I guess you guys have never all about it. It's best friend when we're doing report, right? And there's another good friend called copy and paste. So I'm not gonna go through every details about Wikipedia, just to tell you that it's really interesting things on Wikipedia is that you can check the diplomatic relations between any two countries. You have to type that. Yeah, I just type Indonesia, space, Singapore, and then you come up with this Indonesia-Singapore relations. Yeah, so in case you want to find, well, you have Brunei in APEC already. Well, Brunei, you know, is a country with a lot of oil, but nothing more. So you can, if you want to try to find that maybe the diplomatic relations between Brunei and other countries, then you just go to type it here, and you list all that they have, what have been interacting for the past few years. What's the problem with this? What are they cooperating, mainly focusing on the issues? Yeah, so these are the 3 websites I find really useful where I'm preparing for a Model UN conference, and hope that will be useful to you. Yeah, especially this is really good. Yeah. God bless Americans. Okay, and alright, things you need to know. This is basically I acquired from the people in Model APEC. There may be some tips, things you need to know when you're doing a Model APEC. In Model APEC specifically. First of all, you have to know how to reach consensus. I guess if you guys have someone who have been participating in Model UN and you're interested in Model APEC, you came here. This is the major differences for Model UN and Model APEC. In APEC, everything has to be consensus. You have to reach consensus, which means that everybody have to agree. Everybody have to agree something, then it will pass. It's not democracy that majority voting, simple majority to super majority. No, it's just everybody have to reach consensus on everything. So make sure about you know about this when you're writing a report. And secondly, of course, you have to know your country and economic system well. Well, I have shown you the 3 websites. Yeah, there's also, of course also Wikipedia. Just the single part of article in Wikipedia that contains of all information on that country or economic systems. So yeah, this is the second part. And so far, you have to know APEC really well. And this is something very important actually, because you have to know what APEC is doing, so you know what you are doing. That's very important. So like, you have APEC, I just list of something I check. APEC ministerial meeting. This means in Chinese will be 部长级会议. And the senior official meeting is under that. So these meetings are basically together. You have to consider that. But they have other form like APEC Business Advisory Council. And so the power of those reports and power of those the decision that these bodies make may vary from the name or their category, etc. So you have to know APEC really well when you're gonna doing this. Okay, so that will basically end my job of speaking today. If you're really interested in Model UN, I'm sorry, just in case you're really interested in Model UN, just I don't know, you can just come ask and I can show you explain every details. But let's go back to another part that we're gonna tell you guys gonna do the speaking now. And that's another job today. So this only thing we're gonna do is impromptu. Do you know what guys what impromptu means? Yes, can anyone tell me what is impromptu? Yes? Yeah, the speech that you're not prepared. You have to say something immediately from your head. That's very interesting. Well, I don't know why I put this picture. Well, this is actually me when I'm the Secretary General of this conference, and this is me giving my closing remarks. It's kind of really like impromptu because I wrote the speech the night before the closing ceremony. It's also something that happens in opening ceremony. So this is actually the better picture, you know. In the other picture that was taken, me speaking always like this, because I'm looking at a speech. It's so weird. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that each person will come to stage, and I will give you a comparison topic. For example, black or white. And you have 1 minute, exactly 1 minute, immediately to give your speech. Well, there will be 2 ways to express your ideas. First of all, you can pick your favorable one and explain. Like, well, I like black better because, I don't know, suits are black and I think guys with suits are really hot or something. Doesn't matter, you can say anything you want. Okay, and second, if you don't know which one to choose, compare the two in short details. You have to mind that another thing that's really important in this activity, you only have 1 minute. And if you spend so much time on one aspect, you use up your time all in that moment. Maybe you cannot express all your ideas that thoroughly you can think of in a comparison. So yeah, if you're gonna compare it to compare it in short details, but if you're gonna pick your favorite, it's fine. You just tell why you love it, and 1 minute is very fast. So, who's gonna be the first? Or are there any volunteers who go to come to stage first? Or we're gonna go through some specific procedures. Guess a number. That's gonna cause a lot of time. We have a lot of time here. Alright, so are there any volunteers? Volunteers are good. I just say act before you think. So it's time for you to act before you think. Come on. Alright. Okay. That is a perfect excuse to be the first. Alright, yeah, you can just stand. I think it's better to stand on your stand. Okay, so I don't have the topics that I wrote, I always do the last night. So this is something I wrote on last night. It's kind of like a little bit, Alright, the topic will be coffee or tea? Yeah, you have 1 minute. Go.
family started a new business on coffee beans. And so all of you know that we drink coffee for the caffeine that we need. We need to keep us awake. But then some of us, like me, I feel uncomfortable whenever I drink coffee. Whatever from Starbucks or from 7-Eleven, I just feel like I'm dying. And then I realized that after knowing the coffee business, I know that it's because of the coffee beans. Because the big companies like Starbucks, they have a lot of coffee beans from one tree. That doesn't mean that this is a bad tree, but that some of the beans, they're like rotten and things like that. So in order to get like perfectly hyper in a good way, in a healthy way from consuming coffee, you need to choose the right bean for your own good. So that's what I have to say for coffee.
Okay, you have used exactly perfect 1 minute for the research. So time is up. Thank you. So who wants to be next? Or just the person near beside her being next? That would be more better way for us to go through this. Yeah, so it's good promise me. Okay, so you just stand down, say my mercies. So your topic will be 7-Eleven or Family Mart?
Well, I would personally choose 7-Eleven for a favorite because there's already one or two near my neighbors, and I'm a person who woke up really early in the morning around 6:30 every day. So when I need to grab a breakfast, 7-Eleven would be my first choice. And I would personally recommend the treat they have for having a milk and the sandwich together. And it is not only very cheap, but also tastes delicious. Furthermore, I had a friend who worked, had a part-time job in 7-Eleven, so I got a chance to I was invited to observe what he was doing every night, and therefore I realized that the working system in 7-Eleven is actually very discreet, and they got their products delivered in the middle of the night, exactly at 12 o'clock, and that is really what a business should do in order to give their customers what they want in the early morning.
Spike.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're all done, and we'll have next speaker. Is it you, I guess? But we're gonna do the other people in other places. So please stand up. And your topic will be, let's go to some interesting parts. George Clooney or Johnny Depp? Do you know where they are? Does anyone want to do this? I prefer it's a girl, actually. Can anyone do it really appreciate George Clooney or Johnny Depp? We got so many volunteers. Okay, that's the ladies to do this.
Okay, I would choose George Clooney because he's hot to my mom. My mom actually really adores him. That she said that George Clooney is the hottest guy in the world with his weird and sexy accent. In every movie what George played, my mom all loved it, and she probably watched it thousands of times. So it's kind of influenced me that okay, George probably really high, maybe, I guess. But not as high as Brad Pitt, I think. Okay, that's all. Is that okay, or do you want more?
Well, it's fine. So it's 40 seconds, but it's fine.
Okay.
All right, and are there any volunteers who want to be next? We may be expecting some interesting topics. Now we know that. I must have indulged so many drinks yesterday night, so come up with some strange topics. So, anyone want to be next?
Maybe you can suggest the topic first.
That's not going to work. You have to pop up with something.
Because I want to get Brad Pitt then.
Well, there's no Brad Pitt. I can say no more Hollywood male actor. There's so that I didn't get money from Hollywood, So, is anyone who'd be next? And hello, your topic will be Facebook or Twitter.
So let's speak about Facebook because as for me, it's more comfortable now to use Facebook. And actually it was alternative to social network in my own country. By the way, I'm from Russia. We also have something like Facebook in Russia. It's called Kontakte, and several days ago it was a gossip that this site now considered as prohibited content. Yeah, so that's why no way for me. I only use Facebook. And what about Twitter? I suppose it's not very useful for me because not so popular. Actually popular in Russia, but not so much as Facebook, and so few space for my feelings, emotions, and self-expression. Actually now, while I live in Taiwan, more and more my friends using Facebook, and it's very very funny sometimes at morning to open it and see who were yesterday in nightclub